The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBank.
Given that Aotearoa is home to more than 4.35 million pets, we're dedicating an entire week to our shaggy, slithering, slobbering friends. Right now at thespinoff.co.nz, you'll find a cavalcade of critter content celebrating our pets and the lives we share with them. Make sure you check it out, and a big thanks to our pals at Animates.
The new Technics A800 Premium Wireless Headphones and AZ60 True Wireless Earbuds feature industry-leading noise cancelling, multi-point Bluetooth connection, superior call quality and long-lasting battery life. Indulge in superior sound like never before with Technics.
Kia ora koutou, welcome along to The Real Recap. Week 8. Married at First Sight Australia, we are on the home stretch. Welcome along to the show. Alex Casey.
Hello, thank you.
Duncan
You almost
Green.
crushed it. It was so close.
What was wrong with that?
It was just she sort of said hello and
Hello
thank you.
and thank
it was like a portmanteau.
Sorry so much.
I think you crushed it. Welcome, Duncan. Oh, just as you're taking
What
a big old
about-
sippy of your Java.
Yeah, no, it's
Glass
real
houses,
good
mate.
though. Hi.
I still remember when I first started working at the Spin-off properly and just being able to hear you gulping coffee from the other side of the room and the complete silence of the... Have I not mentioned this before?
No,
Never mind.
The bandicoot.
Sorry, apologies. Hi, Tia here.
Kia ora.
How's your maths journey going?
It's fucking exhausting, but thrilling. It's everything
Yeah.
that I didn't think it was going to be.
I remember my first season well, and you've been through the toughest part.
Do you think that you will be recommitting at the vow renewal situation?
Oh, it's hard, eh? It's hard to see longevity in this relationship.
Do you think it could work in the real world?
I think we'll have to find out on Sunday.
I think he's wigging. He's wigging. He's absolutely wigging.
He's no peasant though.
All right, we'll get into it. There's lots to discuss and almost nothing at the same time. It was a weird week. Things happened, but we didn't have the same stakes drama as we've had over the last couple of weeks, which is probably a good thing because I don't know if my little heart could take it.
It just feels like everyone's like not literally hungover, but just emotionally hungover.
Absolutely.
But also literally hungover.
I mean, Matt is definitely still hungover,
Matt's still hungover.
from his big night a couple of
Mitch.
weeks back.
Hungover, definitely after the boys' night.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's just 2 months is a long time.
It's a long time, especially to be with people 24/7, you know.
Mm.
It's Reflections Week, and the commitment ceremony, we finally said goodbye to our Lord and Saviour, Al, who brought so much entertainment to this season. Bless him.
He wormed his way into our heart.
He did.
We just need to let him cook for 10 more years or so, and then he'll be ready.
But Al and Sam left on a lovely friendship high, and they clearly agreed they were both going to write leave beforehand. It surprised neither of them. What I was extremely disappointed about is the big schooling of Liv that we were promised just didn't really happen.
Didn't happen, eh?
And not
She
just
was in
Liv,
a
but the
really
whole
bad
group.
mood.
She was in a
She was in a really
mood.
bad mood. Was that this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
I've
Time.
lost
What is
track of it
time?
all.
I mean, yeah, I do think the experts botched it, but she's just quite hard to pin down, I think.
Yeah, but it was to the room as well. So let's not forget at the dinner party, it was like everyone, by not saying anything at all or by defending their involvement in the nude pic scandal, pretty much like they all deserved a dressing down, and it was kind of promised in the promos, and then the experts were like, that is not okay. Now let's get our next couple up on the couch.
Yeah, given how precise they can be in terms of their breaking down of what exactly went wrong at various times, they were annoyingly imprecise and sort of just these kind of big, bland blanket statements, whereas this, it felt like there was a relatively clear chain of sort of evidence and errors that were made at intersections that could have just been quite simply talked through in a way that, for example, like Tamara, who seemed to still be of the, well, you took a nude picture kind of critique, is still kind of wandering around with that now.
Yeah, because at the dinner party when the experts were observing, they made some excellent comments and observations that I just don't feel like carried through to the commitment ceremony when they were in front of the contestants.
I wonder if they were freaking out on the fly about like the implications of the production as well. Because like since it's happened, there's a police investigation that's been opened against Olivia. There's this massive petition. Nothing.
Police investigation.
Yeah, nothing might come of it, but still, like I'm sure they're worried about if they go too hard in the moment, they're still kind of on the hook a little bit for facilitating the entire thing and making television out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so fascinating. Not to plug myself, but I have got an interview with the safety officer guy at NetSafe about it, which is coming on the spin-off. We'll be on the spin-off now, I imagine, actually.
Holy shit, I forgot. It's Pet Week on the spin-off.
Is it?
It's Pet Week on the spin-off. We need to make mention of this.
Pet Week.
I know that that's got nothing to do with all the rest of this, but you were sort of like, not to plug myself, but I do want to plug you at this point. I want to plug you.
Thank you, Jane.
What is
You're
it?
welcome. Because Alex Casey has kind of orchestrated this lovely Pet Week, and there's heaps of
the joy of my
amazing
life.
pet content, pet tent on there.
And you're wicked.
I've had 3 sips of instant coffee and I am gone. But anyway, go
look at
to
the
the
website.
spinoff.co.nz. I nearly bought Picklin as kind of a Pet Week gimmick. And then I thought that it's just ruin our podcast.
Yeah.
But what I thought was interesting, just back to me briefly.
Please.
The NetSafe guy basically said, it doesn't matter where the content was shared or what it even contains. It's completely about the intent and the harm caused.
Right.
So even though it's a public OnlyFans thing, it's about the way it was used in the context in which it was circulated, which is very interesting.
Respectfully, I reckon that's just completely I love that on some level. It's an impossibly high standard to prove, I would have thought.
Well, if you've got video of someone saying I can hold a grudge and I think she's white trash.
But that's also what do they call it? Circumstantial type of evidence. The main thing is I would love it if we sort of used the internet that way. But I know people who have literally gone to the police with credible, I don't want to say the word, but threats against them and their partner that were here is the person's address, we'll go at this time. And the police are like, huh? So there is no other sphere of society where, apart from this random reality TV incident where we attempt to actually meet the bar for justice. And I think that's what, we've talked about this a million times on the pod before, is I do think that the reality TV is amazing for us, for bringing these kind of things to light and having nuanced discussions about them. But sometimes I get a bit annoyed at the way authorities just suddenly figure out that they've got these statutes they could use.
Better late than never, though, right? And maybe, something like this can set a precedent.
And when you've got a really broad example to point to that so many people might never have seen anything like that before and go, oh, that happened to me. Because it's very hard to write down that situation.
What we need is for the coppers to watch MAFS.
We need the coppers to watch MAFS.
What it all is, and that there's a statute that they can enact, and all fixed.
I guess so. I just think that, but Fold listeners will have been bored senseless by this thesis over and over. It's this is just so endemic. It's a society-wide behaviour. I do think it's profoundly harmful. I do think there should be consequences, but it requires regulation because otherwise, it does feel a little bit on some level Olivia is going to get all this crazy opprobrium heaped on her, rightly so. But people are doing this stuff all the time in way worse ways, and there is zero consequences for it. And it just feels like a little bit of arbitrary justice because this one person happened to be on TV when they did the bad thing rather than just doing it in high school and basically ruining someone's life, probably.
I disagree.
Well, yeah.
I
okay.
just think that if it's something that they can be held accountable for legally, then they should be. And the fact that other people aren't doesn't mean that they shouldn't. Okay. And I think cops should learn the law.
Here.
They should know all the little laws. Or there should be a handbook or something, or a Google that they can look up and see, is that a real thing?
I mean, it's a lot of the stuff is kind of almost unimagined by the law, or it's like there's the net safe thing isn't necessarily actually legal. But, and sorry, this is probably getting dreadfully boring, but it is, it just makes me uncomfy, the idea that there might be 100,000 violations of this law and this one person once gets pinged by it.
She won't. But it's just the noise, It's just,
There's a lot of nuance here.
There's a lot of nuance.
Look, that's what Reflections Week is all about, right? Looking back over things, taking stock, analysing how far we've come, you know?
Looking through your partner's phone, but not there.
Not
the vault.
The vault? I didn't know about the vault. Is that a thing?
It got breezed over, I feel. Because we had another sort of internet image-based scandal happening. What is the vault? What's in there? Is that okay? What's going on, Mitch?
Is that something that's built into your phone where you can vault photos or something that need an extra password? So if you find your partner's phone lying around, you decide to have a noodle, and then you come along because they've left it unlocked, right? They've just been looking through Twitter because the Will Smith thing's just happened. They've gone off to the loo, and you're like, here's my chance, it's unlocked. Go through, you get to this folder, you can't access it because you need the passcode, and it's vaulted. Is that a thing?
I thought it was a special app downloaded.
Yeah, I assume so.
That's extremely intentional.
I think it's definitely
it's
intentional.
100%.
Like you could see Mitch, that's my precious.
Yeah.
My precious nude photos of my ex-partners.
Yeah.
He almost admitted that. Like I feel like he could have, but Mitch, he could very easily have kind of invented some story about what they were, which would have covered. But Mitch isn't much given for sort of lying, or even kind of little sins of omission type relationship lying.
To his credit, but there was no real fallout for it. It was kind of just a and I think it was just served to make Ella more insecure. Maybe we're yet to see the full effect of the vault.
Maybe it's just got pictures of earrings.
But you'd say that, right?
Or like his own personal nudes of himself.
I don't reckon he wouldn't want her to see those. I think he'd be sending them to her
on TV already.
Anyway, let's. Should we start with Ella and Mitch, seeing as we're already talking about them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they had, when they did watch their video of their wedding day, they had nothing but nice things to say about each other, which is nice but boring. And then they partook in a sweet pizza.
I noticed that. Nutella, strawberries.
Yeah.
But hot? Don't know.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if it arrives hot. Does it arrive hot, or is it like the base cooked and then things added on top after?
No.
What?
Because wasn't there like a hell pizza thing back in the day?
I think there still is a hell pizza thing.
And it was yum and it was hot.
Ambrosia.
I would
That's
almost
what they
want to
call
put
it.
ice cream on top of that, and you're almost getting into like a pancakes, pancakes and ice cream situation.
In which case, why not just have pancakes?
Have you guys never had dessert pizza before?
Never.
I'm sorry.
It's a full thing.
Yeah.
It's a full thing.
And it's delicious.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's honestly, frankly, weird that neither of you who like yum food haven't done it.
But tell me this, are you having dinner pizza and then dessert pizza?
That's too much.
Yes.
Because I would just rather double dinner,
I would rather dinner and then a dessert that's not on a pizza base. I mean, there's only one thing to do about this.
The
You guys
lads.
buy us some pizza
Yeah, probably
of the
is.
sweet variety.
Well, if we do the MAFS finale party, then that's dessert.
We are planning on going old school real pod and having an indoor gathering of less than 200 people, and
Quite a lot less.
divided by about 100 plus 4 or something.
Wow. There's attempt at live maths on real pod.
Live maths during the maths recap. Anyway, we're thinking about getting together and watching. We're just trying to get our schedules together so we can watch the final vows.
It's being
Exciting.
severely inhibited by Alex's hectic social schedule, which involves Scrabble on a Monday.
I've got Scrabble on a Monday, and I'm not going.
Ladies not for doing it.
Well, remember she got schooled recently by a name withheld for not showing up to the Scrabble without letting this woman know because Alex is the only person she could beat. And she was upset.
They wiped the floor with me last night. Let me tell you that, yeah.
Well, what are we talking?
I was in like the low 200s. So bad for me. Got beaten every single time.
You're doing the half-hour games?
Yeah, so times 3.
And so what kind of...
absolutely knackering. One lady beat me like 450 to 200.
Is this Mount Albert Scrabble Club? Am I allowed to come along as a guest?
Yeah, you should come.
Yeah, I'm keen.
It.
Can you hit me up?
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Okay. Ella and Mitch had a sweet pizza and somehow we ended up at Scrabble night. But anyway... they had received a letter from Tamara and Brent, in which they were asked to do this trust task with the phone we'd already discussed about.
Utterly, the whole concept of the task is just a nightmare, correct? For an 8-week-old marriage.
I do not want anyone looking at my... No one.
Yeah, you're
10 years, 8 weeks.
To my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I have a look?
It's good shit on there. Like, it's disgusting. Look how yuck it is. People don't want to touch my phone.
I want to
But
touch
that's
your
the
phone.
physical properties of your phone.
Oh, hold on. Let me just open it. It's got my emails.
The fear.
Yeah, so your emails, your Slack, so the whole bit.
You recently searched.
Hold on.
What is this
no,
growth?
No, see, now I'm panicking.
Yeah, see?
Look at you. You're
I'm
sweating.
I'm sweating. But look, I've got lots of screenshots of Jeremy Corbett.
Yeah, but see, we can all show off cool things, cool funny things on our phone, but it's all there.
I'd like to show off this cool, funny photo of Alex.
Oh, yeah, it's just just checking out my
Keep that
eyebrows
in
are
your
doing.
vault.
That should be
Pop it in the vault. Pop it in the vault. Yeah, no, that is an absolutely fucked task, which would mess with anyone. And Mitch opted not to go through Ella's phone at all.
Yeah.
He's kind of a cool dude like that, you know.
Like, Mitch is a very specific dude. Like, I've never seen anyone like Mitch in my life.
He has a good confidence level, I think. Like he's just like, I don't need to go through your phone.
Good confidence, good vocab.
But also maybe if I don't go through your phone, you might feel pressured not to go through my vault. You know?
Hands up. Vault.
Oh, my God.
They had a cool final date. They went jet skiing, which is what he wanted to do. I did notice most of the other dates were kind of like, here's something lovely for you. But to be fair, of all the dates, that's the one I'd want to do. And I am not an outdoorsy person. And
You
it
would
looks
love
so
to go on a
fun.
jet ski.
Yes.
Yeah.
With someone who knows how to drive a jet ski.
Is that what? Because he's like, this is a taste of the Goldie.
Yeah.
Is that what they do?
I-
all
There's-
the time.
there are
There's
no
so
cars
much.
in Goldie.
There's so much water in the Gold Coast. That's how they get around. I think
He was very good at it.
it doesn't strike me as a jet ski kind of a guy, but you know, full of surprises. I guess that's just the Gold Coast in him, right?
Oh, he's just so cool.
Jet skis are much larger than I thought they were.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never seen
that's
one in real
a
life.
two-person like commuter jet ski, I reckon.
I mean, when I first saw one with my own eyes in real life, I couldn't believe it.
I've not.
Massive. I can see why. Sorry to go back to below
No,
deck, but I
no.
can see why it's such a struggle
I know.
to get them back in the.
I know.
What's her name?
I so want to go on one of those charters and get out the toys. I'm telling you.
If you're listening,
If you're listening, Sirocco, Captain Sandy.
What I take issue with these weird. The dates were nice, but I think it's weird when they're like, put this dress on.
yeah, but the
I
put this
bought
dress
you a
on
dress.
is there is a sponsor.
It's definitely. I mean, they fit so
It is
perfectly.
They do fit
Damn.
perfectly.
Yeah,
Like,
But
come
it's just
on.
like, it's just a bit like
Yeah, it's
Hannibal
yuck,
Lecter-ish
but it's also
to me.
got to pay the bills.
The
Why
whole
don't the lads put on a waistcoat?
Can you
Does
please-
the sponsor a lad?
What about
Jesus,
a
have you
waistcoat
seen
company?
that?
Frank Casey.
Frank Casey in the family.
Really?
No, I wish.
Oh, man. It's all excited to get these guys suited and booted. Okay.
I would be talking about that.
Yeah, that's true.
non-stop.
That's true.
You would.
Like I would be talking about Carolyn Ming if she was my cousin, but she ain't. Okay, that's a very, very, very deep niche joke.
Great
It's
global
pretty
references
good.
for our global audience.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
You're wigging.
Something about jet skis. I don't know. They were going fast though. Like he knows how to ride a jet ski. They got some air.
If you know what I mean.
I know what
20
I
minutes
mean,
to go,
and
by the
I
way.
literally mean that he knows how to ride a jet ski. 20 minutes to go, did you say? Okay,
I'm sorry.
let's move on.
Move on.
Lovely beach dinner. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Alex, you have to suspend your disbelief about the dresses because also the dates are not organised by these guys, okay? You know?
I don't believe it.
I don't even necessarily think it's their idea.
Oh, it's true. Apart from Jack, I think he did organise the Little Italy one.
Oh, I'm so sad about Little Italy. We'll get there.
Why?
We'll get there.
We will get there. Ella wants some reassurance. She wants to know if she's going to be in a single or in a relationship out the back of this, and Mitch ain't telling.
No, that secret is in the vault. It is. Free his feelings.
Hey, actually, the vault is quite a good metaphor for Mitch. He's got a
Totally.
big ass vault.
It's weird though because he's done everything right this whole way through in terms of like commitment to Ella. Despite him not being able to reassure her, he's made a few little missteps along the way. But I would have been, up to this point, really surprised if he couldn't reassure her that they were going to work outside of the experiment. And now he's kind of going,
But I think Mitch is like, he's got this thing where he's just like, I will only say something if I can express it with 100% confidence. And that's just how he approaches life. And, you know, I think you see a similar thing on some level with Selena and Cody. And that is just like a type of person. And that's actually a great person to select for MAFS, by the way. But it's not necessarily what most people need from a relationship. But it comes down to that, like, you know, little white lies kind of thing that Mitch is also just not comfortable with. He's just like, here is my truth. And by the way, if I've had a couple of lee jars of beer, I'm going to express it in quite an obnoxious way.
I'd really love to see you on MAFS actually, Dunk.
Yeah, so
I know you're already married and all that kind of thing, but I just feel like you, a couple of jugs deep with some of these characters would be so amazing.
Oh,
I've just
thanks,
had a
Jane.
brilliant idea. What about married again at first sight?
Oh,
and you take couples that are already married, they go and live apart for a few weeks, and then they get married again.
And then they go in the experiment
And
type
they go in the
environment.
experiment.
Imagine the bickering.
And the experimental environment, particularly this year where they were like literally weren't allowed to have any contact with anyone who wasn't in the experiment. I feel like it
Copyright
was
that.
Copyright
shit.
that. Copyright that.
just
Okay.
a fairly malnourished idea, by the way. We just copyright it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise that the
Wow.
bar had ever been set literally anywhere off the floor. Okay, Selena and Cody. We'll talk about them seeing as we're there. We'll jump on the hot air balloon, have a lovely time. Extremely romantic for Selena, not so much for Cody.
The way that Cody biffed himself into that basket was slapstick.
It was big L energy, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, how many times have you been in a hot air balloon? Seems like many.
I have a question about Cody. He had, when he first got together with Selena, he had this whole thing of like, she's very smiley, she's just looking at me smiling all the time. He is never not smiling.
That's true, yeah.
Dude is never not smiling.
But his is like a sort of a paralysed terror smile.
Yeah.
That's true. She wants to know if he's going to be banging other girls during the transition back to normal life, and he's like, need a coffee. And when they watched their video, by the way, she said nice things about him. He obviously, as we remember, said she's not my usual type and so on. So that all came up again, which was a bit nasty.
I loved him being like, I can't remember what I said. Like, he knew he was in trouble.
Also, I still am stuck on him saying, I'm worried she's going to dive in quickly. It's married at first sight.
Oh, yeah.
You're marrying a person you've never seen before. By definition, you're all diving in quickly, you know?
Diving in like into a hot air balloon basket.
So Cody, one big error, tiny wee, seemingly warm bottle of champers, which was just like, come on, at least have a full bot, you know? Like, you can't, that's not going to fly. Other than that, this is...
Oh, here we go.
Oh, my God.
I had a little bit of sympathy for Cody.
You what? No.
I did.
No.
When Selena was like begging him for that, like that reassurance, like she sort of knows that he doesn't really have that capacity. That's like a known weakness of him, and there was a sort of a relentlessness of the pursuit, which I feel like he just does it. He's not capable of that. And I think, look, maybe it's not acceptable to express sympathy, but there was something about his, like this is a person who basically came in as an emotional void and has been coaxed gently and very well away from that by Selena. But he's still a work in progress. He's still like 2 months old.
I don't think she's asking him for a lot.
No, I don't think she
she's
is either
just
from a regular person, but this is someone who's basically been emotionally frozen for 15 years.
That doesn't mean her needs should be set aside. I just think that's much like Al, it's not Selena's responsibility to turn this person into a relationship-ready person. it's the whole idea of the experiment is to bring two people together who they think will work. And I don't know. I do think she didn't express her frustrations and what she wanted particularly well. I don't think she made it super clear because she kept saying, I haven't given you anything because you haven't given me anything. Well, I don't actually think that's true.
No, that's definitely not.
I think it's
and
very
that was the problem.
Moved to his city.
Yeah.
Well, no, but then he was saying you said you might move or you'd be
No,
prepared
but
to
I
or
think
something.
that was semantics. I think she's obviously scared to give 100% of herself because she doesn't want to be made a fool of. And I think that all she's really asking is to not be blindsided at the final vows. It's not that she's saying, I only want to hear that there's going to be a relationship at the end of this. She's just like, I just want to know where I stand.
Yeah, that's true. But I do think she was so relentless in her pursuit of that answer that they were, if you actually look at a transcript of what they were saying, they were pretty much saying the same thing back at one another. And she had a right to be incredulous. She has been emotionally carrying the relationship the whole way through. But in that exchange, once they'd reached that sort of impasse, I don't know. There was something about it where I was just like, God, this is just a, and they're litigating it on television.
Yeah, they get
last time.
very involved in semantics, and I think he uses that to kind of get out of things a little bit, to worm his way out and make excuses like he didn't understand. But a couple of things I noted when she walked off, and he did his funny little smile that we've discussed. Before following her, grabs a few snacks and has a drink.
Did he?
He's like getting up from the table and doing that thing when you're like about to leave a lunch or whatever before everyone else is still, and you just take like one for the road,
Yeah.
Have you been to his house on TV?
Oh, true.
He has got
the food is
as
premium.
much nutrients
that's
in
true.
because
He cannot eat that cheeseburger when he gets home.
that's as good as it gets though as well.
I think all he had to say to her was, I'd like to try. Like
Yeah.
to show that it wasn't off the table.
Yeah.
And he finally kind of gets in and says, I obviously want to make this work. And I think obviously is the key word here.
Obviously.
But that's all she
Big
needed.
lift.
That
Yeah.
was all she needed. Immediately diffused her. Then the rain came along as a lovely Mother Nature circuit breaker. And they walk off arm in arm. And it seems
Happily all
it
right.
seems like they're gonna be fine.
I hated watching this, but I've forgotten all the details of it. I just remember the physical feeling that I had watching Cody. And I remember one thing that my partner Joe said, and this is a man saying this. He is the walking definition of men are trash.
Oh.
I think he really did gaslight her. I think he made
did.
her feel like she was going crazy and twisting her words against her.
I think that's true, but you've got to remember who he is.
Oh, no! That's not her fault.
It's not her fault, but it is his reality.
Oh, Duncan. Okay.
I realise I'm alone on Cody Island.
That's all right. That's
with
right.
a 10-pack of Cody's.
Cody is definitely not the worst person on this show. And I agree. I think he's quite, and I think we've seen.
Hey, does Cody's also like some jerky? Like you can have a great meal.
True.
Jerky and
And you know that's what he eats.
that's probably why he's got some whole like
Too much
emotional.
He's just smiling, thinking about
too
the
much
jerky.
sugar. These are his products.
Okay, Dom and Jack. Again, in the videos, lovely things. Their shapes, flavour of choice is pizza. I don't know if you noticed that.
Italian.
Yeah. I was just getting them in the fake Italian mood. Their final date, well, because it was, I think it was a little bit probably, he hands her the fake plane tickets. And it can only be disappointment. Like you're like, oh my God, are we fucking going to Italy? Or are we flying literally anywhere? No. There's a homestead nearby.
Down there.
Nikki had the exact same reaction, and that's fair. But it's COVID times. There's a little bit of a, you can't even literally see anyone else on this show. You've never seen them in a shot with a member of the public.
Totally. Oh, I understand that. I just think that you can't, when something is so visually, it's like if you pulled out a ring box and opened it up and inside was a pair of earrings.
Or a Tim Tam.
Or a Tim
It's delicious. Yum, thank you. But
Yum, thank you.
Anyway, I've eaten so many Tim Tams lately, I've gone off them.
really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing.
What the hell were we talking about?
I love the date. The
Oh, the
4D
date.
immersive Italiano date.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't. The thing is, it was one alleyway, one They walked up and down it.
And rode.
No,
very evocative.
Oh, yeah, that. But they spent a lot of time just looking around these two walls, these two facades going, it's amazing. It's just like being in Italy. It's just like being in Florence. And then she's like, oh, there's a Vespa that's been set there. And then she's like, oh, there's July. And as if they've walked 5 kilometres around these streets, had a beautiful day of it. It's pissing with rain. I mean, it was lovely. It was a beautiful thing. I just think that they did some very good acting.
Yes. What do you think? I feel like this season was maybe a bit more acting than usual. Like stagey feeling scenes.
Doing the bits for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a COVID thing, though, probably as well,
definitely.
right? Yeah.
Well, speaking of acting, Mitch and Ella's pretend sex scene, quality.
I don't remember
I
it.
don't remember that.
Like they sort of flung the covers over themselves.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that's right.
It made some moaning noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never hear that these days. do you?
There was a lovely Fiat Bambino ride to a lovely dinner. And these two are just, I love them.
They gave it a red hot crack.
He really likes her.
He's
He really likes her.
number one guy on the show, right?
Oh, probably ever.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Probably ever. Has there been a better groom on MAFS? I keep thinking
I don't
of
think there
NASA.
has. I don't think there has. I don't think anyone even comes close.
I mean, Cam was nice, but I think that these guys have been on a real journey. And I
Dion?
just don't think he's misstepped at all. Dion's
Dion
fine.
standing on his wallet.
Dion's great, but I think in terms of like, I don't know, the whole arc and journey. And
the way that he just
longevity.
steps the fuck up every time she's in trouble is beautiful.
And I think knowing that they are from such different backgrounds, and it's just, but they obviously have some stuff in common. It hasn't played into it at all. A lot of people use that sort of thing as their excuse. We're just from very different backgrounds and upbringings and all that kind of thing. And he's just like, she's amazing. I really like her, and she's the same.
if they break up,
I know, the world is over.
I will be very upset.
2022 will go down as a bad year. Okay, Brent and Tamara. Oh, not so good.
God.
I really don't like Tamara.
Tamara is very lucky that Liv was also cast.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
if Liv wasn't here,
Tamara would be the
Hello,
villain.
the villainess.
Tamara,
Niche.
they watched their wedding video things. We knew before this even played that it was going to be horrible. I actually remember her saying more yuck things than they showed in her on her wedding day. They did like a mix of not so complimentary things, but also some nice things. I just don't remember them ever showing us any nice things she said on her wedding day. I don't know.
we have the looked down and nice feet?
We did.
moment, was that?
We did, but here's the interesting thing. In the first round, we heard that don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. But I don't think we ever heard the, her feet are actually nice bit. So I think they were like doing some frankenbiting, you know?
Love Frankenwatch.
Yeah, totally.
Their final date is with some puppies, goes down a treat. He knows she likes puppies.
Love it.
They tried to make a gag about Brett playing with Tamara's puppies.
Which you don't often hear gags in that anodyne voiceover, but they obviously just snuck one through there.
It's like it's getting to the end of the season. Let one slip in.
Yeah.
Brett pulls out a blindfold to surprise Tamara, and she is not having it because I made it. No.
She does have strong lashes that I think
She does.
would not fare well.
It's
under
just
that
the tone
blindfold.
she takes. If it was sort of like, oh, I would, but I just spent ages on my. Do you mind if I? Rather than,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing it. Why did my bloody makeup? You know, that's it's a different kind of vibe.
Well, in the same way that Jackson just feels like he's just trying to get to the end of the show without, like, while maintaining his reputation. I feel like Tamara at that point was, I don't know, like, you know, she's just over it and is struggling to keep it in. But my God, when she just completely collapsed, caved in her reputation with all of that just waits table stuff, which looks, thankfully, like it's going to get a proper airing at the dinner party.
So bad. Like,
It's so bad.
So bad.
we know he's a videographer, nightclub runner extraordinaire, international Dubai.
International
And
playboy.
that he's come home and he manages.
International Dubai, Alex.
And he's come home and he manages a restaurant. We know that. How does she not know that?
So I looked up Sinaloa, named after, I think, a drug cartel.
Is this the restaurant?
Yeah.
Is that his restaurant?
Yeah, which is a very kind of Australian thing. To like, I've got a Mexican restaurant. Name it after a notoriously murderous cartel. Classic. 3.9, I think, on Google reviews. But does seem
that's
like
all right.
does seem flash, like got real fancy menu.
How's the service?
Service, you're not sure, but he doesn't do the service. Like he's the manager.
Right. She just started flailing. Like it was
Yeah.
just like she unspooled and then it was
Well,
the mask was
the mask
off.
came off. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it underneath the mask? The real Tamara. Will you please stand up? She, lovely boat. Delicious looking dinner that Brett didn't even get to eat. Now he did like such a great
He's a gentleman.
call back to his his upbringing. You know, I was taught to what did he say?
I was taught to be a gentleman and I can't be
I can't
a
be
gentleman
one.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So he's the king of the high road.
A lot
and
of
he's a-
gentlemania this season.
He's exceptionally self-aware. You know, he's really
He is.
self-aware, and I don't know. Boys are not allowed to be moody, apparently.
Yeah. Ugh.
I actually kind of love Brent. Like I think Brent is not Jack level, but him and Dion, great guys.
Great
Yeah.
guy. I mean, there have
well.
been some great guys this season, and I think
Matt.
yeah, he's certainly something.
The bombs.
I think the thing with Jack is just that it helps that their relationship is working out,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
makes
totally.
it all have a nice sheen to it. She also blurted out she doesn't want to be here lately, which you alluded to. And I think that you're right. She's doing a bit of a gonzo here till the end, doesn't want to not be on the telly.
Yeah, really strongly wants every second of TV time, but absolutely can't even pretend with Brent anymore.
No, and I think she'd suffer from real FOMO of not being there. When we see how she is at the,
Yeah.
I think she likes to be part of the OG crew who know all the things and have the key to the vault.
Well, and then the way that she sort of lights up Selin is as if like there are tiers.
Oh, there are
of
tiers.
MAFS people.
Yes.
And I agree.
I agree too. I absolutely agree.
I was
So
who the
I was
fuck
like,
Selin was?
You haven't been here. You haven't been through what we've been through.
Also, isn't it
So
funny?
is she on our tier or are we slightly above her because we watched it all?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? Back to Tamara and Brett, sorry. How his ego gives her the shits.
Yeah.
When she's the one who's like got this inflated sense of self. I don't think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, like in terms
Yeah.
of what she deserves and that kind
That's
of thing.
true. That's
Massively,
true.
massively.
And her just throwing around the word moody. Oh, it gave me the shits. Because I feel like there's no way to go, oh, you're being a bit moody, and for that person not to then be moody.
Yeah,
It's just
totally.
like the
Yeah.
perfect
It's a great
thing to drop.
gaslighter.
Yeah, I might put that in my back pocket.
And just that you wait tables, own it. Like the way that she's just kind of, she just says that over and over. Like it's just a given that someone's whole self is contained in whatever their occupation happens to be at that time, or even what you say their occupation is.
Yeah,
Even
just
though it isn't.
random.
Yeah, it just could be anything, right?
Yeah.
You just type on a keyboard, Duncan. Own it.
That's actually literally what I do.
At Z, we know that it's time to move from being a part of the climate change problem to the heart of its solution. And as a New Zealand company providing fuel to people in all parts of the country, we also know that we have a real chance to lead that change. We're committed to providing the right energy for everyone and keeping our customers moving. We believe that innovation in fuel and how it's used can make a huge difference to our planet. You can find out more about what we're doing in the Z app, and you can save money at the pump at the same time. Download the Z app for free and make your journey with Z quicker and easier.
Okay, Olivia and Jackson. Can we just talk about Olivia's outfit since the retreat? All puffy sleeves and kind of girl next door, like sweet. And when you remember at the retreat, she was like slicked down hair, black out. She's like dressing to her character.
She does
really
that
is.
right the whole way through, like even down to she has like a kind of like sometimes her look is very sort of I don't even know how to describe it, but she's got like sort of three distinct looks and they almost seem to correspond to how she behaves in a particular situation. She's such a fascinating TV
She
creature.
really is.
I would like to Fashion Police call her out for wearing a poo brown dress.
Where are the
girls'
scissors?
night. Where are the scissors? Where is this grudge now, Olivia?
Oh my God. so much. What do they call it
Fashion
in film?
sleuth.
Mise en scene? No, that's not right. Is that it? The thing where there's like messages in the I don't know elf costume department. Okay.
Mon Dieu.
After getting a bit of a dressing down at the commitment ceremony, she's still sulking. Very proud that she holds a grudge, as she says it protects her, which is that's not true. There's quite a big difference between holding a grudge and having boundaries. But anyway, they watched the videos, obviously said nice things about each other. He's suddenly wearing a bucket hat. And they get a letter from Dom and Jack who say they've got signs of codependency. Liv laughs like an absolute fucking maniac.
That was so intense.
And so fake.
So fake, so loud, so long, and she's not smiling.
No.
Her eyes are not smiling. It was chilling.
It's like she knows she's a little... It's unhinged. Is that a horrible thing to say? I mean,
Is there a chance that they Franken bit the laugh to go on like 3 times as long as it actually was?
I don't think so, because he was talking underneath while they...
Yeah,
while
but
she
you can
was
still...
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Frankenbite.
I know you are, but I'm just like, they really are trying to dial up she's misery, she's going to murder him
the
kind
face
of.
masks, American Psycho.
The way that they did that
there.
overlay was...
Yeah.
I wouldn't put anything past these producers. They weave some magic.
They do. Okay.
I definitely think there's a chance that was like a 5-second loop that got spent for 30.
Okay.
Maybe they got Andy Serkis in a morph suit.
Okay. So it appeared unhinged to the casual viewer. Okay, that's what I'll say. Like the
Good legal coverage.
Thank you. That is our
Such a
entire.
casual viewer, Jane.
That's our entire legal coverage.
my
Anything we
honest
say
opinion.
here is just based on what we see on the telly. Okay. So they were given the task of spending a night part, no phones, no emails, no comms. Oh, that's fine. I can do that. That's absolutely fine. No problem at all until she starts spiraling.
Oh my God.
Liv's, we know she's not coping well with this. How are they going to cope on the outside? This is just,
This is not, like, he's just waiting it out, right?
Yeah.
With his reputation intact. You can see that he's just sort of doing the scenes a bit, and like he just isn't engaged with her the way that he was.
To be fair, though, Jackson was taken from her. He was taken from her
by Dom. Wow. Wow.
They had their final date at a beautiful country cottage. She had a bath, they had dinner, diamond necklace, and then came up with the conversation about how she hasn't gotten along with all her ex's friends before, and is that going to be a problem?
But it's fine. She just will never talk to them again.
She won't talk to them.
That's
You're
fine.
together.
And
It's fine because he doesn't really value his friendships or anything like that, so that's fine. Can you imagine him making plans without her with one of the friends that she doesn't like? Imagine if that friend's a lady friend as well. Oh God, it's not worth thinking about. Okay.
But you can also see him sort of artfully arranging his exit by like just prompting something where he knows that like a bar that she will inevitably run into, and he's like, well, you know.
Yeah.
I did tell you it was going to be a deal breaker, and here we are.
But I do think he's going to need to be in witness protection or some shit like that. It's terrifying.
Okay, girls' night. I know it seems like it should have been a bigger part of this podcast, but to be honest, I don't know. The major players are just people I'm not invested in.
Yeah, Selin. Wyatt, she was racked when she came in. Some producer must have been working some magic on her because she came in like ready to go.
She's demanding to know. She had the right to know what happened on the retreat. She's clinking glasses.
Look at me.
Yeah, don't turn your back to me. All sorts.
Look at me.
I'm looking at you. What do you want?
No. I'm just. I want you to look at me. Well, I just say whatever the fuck I want. It's great. It was really amazing. Yeah, you're right. Mega interest. Both her and Daniel just came in prepped.
Yeah.
Like the producers on this, like they should do like a worldwide like reality TV Oscars for this kind of shit, because that was. Those were kind of electric scenes, even though I was also curiously uninvested in them.
I think it had those sorts of scenes happen between people that I cared more about or liked or had any feeling towards in any way. It would have been completely different. But I did like when Selin was sort of going, it's not new news, it's not, the past to me, I need to know. And then someone brings up her relationship, she's like, why are you bringing that up?
Irrelevant.
It was amazing. I did notice there was a dirty edit where that bit where Sam was talking about how the necklace was trapped and she was eating the burrito, because in the foreground was Jess because you could see her kimono and Jess hadn't arrived yet at the dinner party. So I was like, they just don't care.
They don't give a flying fuck.
It looks basically fine.
Just a glorious shot.
It was a great shot of her
was
eating
amazing.
the wrap.
Yeah.
She was totally just eating like a normal person, but it just shows just what maestros these editors are.
There was a text message apparently that Carolina had sent to Dion saying, no hard feelings, it's just a TV show. But I mean, I kind of think that's a little bit fair in terms of, I think everyone who comes on this show is like, I'm going on a TV show. There's very few people who are going on like, this is my last option to find love, you know? Like, but
it's not factually wrong.
For some of the people who have, you know, they've ended up with real, genuine relationships, what a lovely, pleasant surprise. But it's not like they don't know they're on the telly. Boys' night. The party starts when Elle arrives. Lads, you know.
Inchworm across the floor.
Just that they had a beautiful... Al is the in-the-moment king, and he should just be like watching the show and doing in-the-moments for it forever. But I missed the boys so much, and then gets in and they're just
The
jumping.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Bachelor in Z, Lillian Lucina season,
Yes.
Argentina.
There's something about like there's normally a lot of toxic masculinity and really like quite beautiful expressions of female friendship on this show, and this season has been like totally reversed. Mostly the guys have got like quite a good, silly, boyish energy driven by Al, and there's been a lot of toxicity amongst the women, and that was just the most devastating dichotomy.
And when the brotherhood came together, when Daniel walked in, like the mafia with Dion sitting at the end of the table,
the Don.
This is how a man talks. It was so intense.
But also Dion's little head popping around when he arrives, like popping around the door. Hello, I'm back. It was just like, it was so, and everyone's just
So
like,
cute.
the man's here. It was so cute. Again, I mean, an unsurprising reception to Danny's arrival. Mitch really doesn't rate Daniel, and he let rip with him, but in a real kind of, so cool, calm and collected.
Yeah.
And kind of smug and smarmy, and it just did Daniel's head in.
Yeah.
Best bit. I'll have your wine too.
I'll drink your wine too.
Piss off, bro, and have your wine too.
Oh, that was,
I would watch a show which is just Mitch sitting there being shown people and going, I rate ya, I don't rate ya.
right.
I rate ya.
That's copyright the spell.
Finally, I got one across the line.
Cody walks in. What did I miss? After Daniel's walked out, and it's just like a blessed one.
No, it was Jack, wasn't it?
Sorry, Jack. Sorry. I
They
confused
do
them.
look alike, but I feel like that would be, you'd be Devo to miss that, because it was just such a quality scene.
It felt like a real Al, like it would have been Al, that should have been Al, you know? Al's just like, it's always so wide-eyed.
Yeah.
For the rest of his life, never not going to be surprised by literally everything. I am going to miss that guy on my tally. Okay, one more week to go. Dinner party and some vows.
Keen.
Okay.
No, next week. I thought we were making social plans again.
Oh, yeah, we'll have a dinner party and have some vows. Okay. Sounds good. Hey, thank you very much for listening. Thank you to TI here for recording, editing, and mixing and mastering and making it sound great.
Wow. Frankenbiting us, probably.
And thanks also to our new, don't know what her role is, content manager, Rachel LaRue, with the coolest name
Really
ever
cool.
in the history of ever. Okay, thanks, guys. Hooroo, Duncan, off to your meeting.
Off he goes.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Just quickly, if you enjoyed this podcast and value what we do at The Spinoff, please consider joining the Spinoff members. All our mahi is made possible by our members, and we wouldn't be here today without their support. Tautoko mai and head to thespinoff.co.nz/members to sign up.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, Senior Writer at The Spinoff. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
The Spinoff Podcast Network.